Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. So take a seat, please.
Thank you. I brought your brush.
Oh my god, you like really brought it in
Yeah.
your hand. What is it called again?
Kabuki brush.
What? Why?
It's the best. It's the best
Oh
one.
my god, it's so soft.
So soft.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It's like this.
Yeah. Pat, 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 pat.
So how long have you been doing makeup and all of that stuff?
Unique for 4 years.
Okay.
4 years.
How did you get into it?
I fell into it like most things. Yeah.
But I remember you were telling me you have always loved makeup and like doing your own makeup.
I
and all
think that I was always a makeup girl without realizing that I was a makeup girl, and I signed up to do this direct sales thing for the discount on the products, and then it took on a life of its own.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now you're doing a little bit of motivational.
Yeah, so I have a team of like over 500 women right now.
What?
So yeah.
500.
Yeah.
That's a huge team.
Yeah, it's big. So
It's big.
it's big.
How do you manage the team of 500? Like, what do you do?
We do a lot of team trainings. We use Facebook and social media for a lot of it. So we do a lot of motivation, a lot of mindset work. It's a lot of coaching. So that's what helped me get into my love of spreading these positive vibes and helping uplift women to help them start their own businesses and help them work through a lot of their blocks. Yeah.
Yeah. You call yourself mindset coach, right?
Mhm.
So you started getting into the coaching, and now you want to do like a full practice.
Focus on mindset coaching for these women and helping them launch their businesses. But then I've also been a recruiter for 10 years now, and recruiting in all these different capacities and helping people find new jobs, and kind of like a career coach more than a recruiter is what I've called myself. So it just kind of clicked one day to say, wow, you can have so much impact in helping people find careers and jobs that they're in love with, and that's just become so important to me. So really making that shift now into career coaching and all kinds of other mindset coaching.
What do you love about it? Like, what is your, what's your desire for yourself, for your business, for the people that you will be coaching? Like, why do you feel called to do this?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. So I think that we underestimate how much our lives revolve around work. And with women, we're just constantly juggling so many things. So, but your job is taking up 40, 50, 60 hours even when you add in the commuting time and the putting yourself together before work and putting your makeup on and getting home and decompressing after the job, that it's such a big time chunk out of our lives, and it filters then into our energy and our mood and our emotions and the way that we can show up in our relationships with our friends and family and everyone else in between. So helping people find careers and that they are more aligned with it's impactful. It transcends beyond just the person and their job and their day to day. It really trickles into their entire life and then becomes something that can help or inspire or uplift other people in their lives too when they're in alignment with their career.
Yeah, it is so important.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you're doing this.
Thanks. Yeah.
Because you have this amazing energy about you and so uplifting and it's just like I love that we're friends.
Well, last time we were here, you took some photos for me for my LinkedIn profile, and that was just a couple of weeks before my mom passed away too, which also was a big part of my journey in the last year of deciding that I wanted to do this, because my mom was at rock bottom with her. I remember sitting right here with you telling you how she couldn't find a job and she'd lost her house and was addicted to pills and lots of other things at the time, and just a couple of weeks later she passed away, and that started a whole new journey for me of wanting to help women understand that if you don't deal with whatever's going on in your life and make changes to things that are making you miserable in our 30s, in our 20s, and in our 30s, it will catch up to you later.
Yes.
So that's also been a big part of my journey too. With the career stuff and everything, it's just so connected, but it's something that we have to really, at this stage of our lives, tap into now to avoid more problems later.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm so sorry about your mom.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just all flooding back to me sitting here.
No.
How we were talking about that.
Yeah, I do remember this. Yeah,
Yeah.
very clearly. Yeah. Who are the people in your life that inspire you, and
Yeah.
why, and what do they do for you?
Yeah. We both love Ramit Sethi.
Yes.
I think that was one of the first things we bonded over.
Exactly.
I got into Ramit's work and started following him when I moved to New York, and I was changing careers myself and really at my own rock bottom of figuring out what I wanted to do with myself and where I wanted to go. And he opened me up to the possibility of not being average.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that we do, we can channel this mindset of like, what is everyone else doing? How do I not do that?
Right.
How do I not be like everyone else? If I'm going to channel my top performer mindset, how do I show up with the resume, with the job search, with all these other things, with the networking? So, and I know you've loved him too, and it's how we connected, but he's definitely a big inspiration for me. I remember writing to Ramit when I got my first new job in New York, and I wrote him, I negotiated my salary by like $5,000, and at the time, this was only 5 years ago, I was like so excited about it. I was like, oh my gosh, his advice works.
Yeah.
And now here I am, I'm working at one of the top tech companies in the world, and helping other people do that as well, and he's been really one of my big inspirations.
Yeah.
And then other people like Gabby Bernstein,
Yes,
Marie Forleo,
of course, yeah.
huge inspirations to me, because I believe so firmly that we are limitless and our potential is so limitless as humans, but we're just so programmed to
Yeah.
not believe it and not really
Yeah.
know that we are. And these women have really paved the way in terms of coaches and leaders in the female empowerment community to say, we can get rid of all these limiting beliefs and tap into our potential, and it's infinite.
Yeah.
It's truly infinite. So those
Yeah.
two for sure.
Yeah, I love all of them. Ramit, of course, and Gabi, and Marie Forleo, and I feel like they have similar messages, but they just use a different language.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember specifically from Ramit, it stuck with me. I remember how he was saying, you have to do your thing, right? It's like, obviously, yes, you don't want to be average, but if you focus on improving yourself and your skills and whatever, then the competition becomes irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like, you're the one person who can do whatever XYZ thing with your unique flavor.
Yes, that really does combine the Marie and Ramit and all of them
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. And with Gabi, with this new book that she just released, I love it how she talks about, again, like reframing, like don't dwell in the negatives, what's the, like, rise vibrations,
Raising your vibration.
raising your vibrations, right? So staying in the positive and
having fun.
And having
doing
fun.
things that are
Yes.
fun, and I think that a lot of my work and the things that I bring to coaching that are, especially the job strategy stuff, it's like it's a mix, right? I'm kind of the blend of like the woo-woo-y energy work meets manifestation plus strategy and actual of this world type
Yeah.
of strategic mindset that Ramit would bring
Yeah.
to the table.
Yeah.
And it's like when you combine it all together, things move fast and
Oh,
they
yes.
have fun and things work out in a way that feels so magical, and that's really something that I want to help bring to my my clients and the people that I work with, is when there's nothing more important than getting in an energetic alignment and raising your vibration.
Yes.
To it's all energy. Everything at the end of the day comes down to the energy. But then there's the behind the scenes of the work that you've got to do that. It's work. It's not
Yes.
always fun and pretty, and it doesn't always feel good to bust through these mindset blocks around all those limiting beliefs I mentioned. It's definitely a lot of work, but when you combine it all together and button it up, things can move fast and you can have fun
Yeah.
doing it too.
And another thing I just also remembered that I think Gabi talks about, and another lady that you and I love, Amanda, how when you are focusing on serving people, right? When you're when you come from the place of love, and you have love for, for the humanity, it already raises your vibrations as they are, because you are in a place of love, and then it creates more opportunities for you, because you're in that, and you're also like so great at that. I've been watching you, and you are such a loving person.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that's even that is part of a daily practice. It's something that's really powerful. Like, who can I serve today? Who can I show up for that may not be expecting it? We're going to serve our clients, and we're going to be there for the people that are in our lives that kind of know that we're there for them. But when you can wake up and just whoever comes first, top of mind, that you can just uplift, and whether it's let me send them some resume tips, or let me check in and see how their search is going, or let me just send a positive quote to them that they may need. There's so many opportunities every day for us to uplift one another, and I think that's definitely at the core of my messaging too. It's that, and this stuff is free. Like, you can offer this stuff for free, and it can take 2 seconds to help people, and but the impact is big, and it creates so many ripples.
Yeah,
I think.
Exactly. Yes, it actually also just reminded me of how Ramit was teaching us to. You only need 3 clients, right? Like, you do great for these 3 people. They love you. They are willing to support you as well. Either it's testimonial or referral or something like that. But it will help you grow, because again, you are coming to this like service or whatever you're doing with love, right?
Yeah.
So
It's all
definitely
love at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it creates this ripple effect, and I've been experiencing that a lot too recently. So it's an amazing feeling.
Oh.
And so now you're building your website.
Yes.
So yeah, let's talk about your website. Like, for this is for the coaching, right?
Yep.
Specifically. And I photographed you.
Yes. Amazing photos.
So sometimes we talk about, when you're starting out, like, why do you need professional photography? You don't have, the resources for it just yet, and you can get away with, iPhone pictures or whatever. So why was it important for you to get some professional photos?
I believe really firmly in, some would call it the act as if method, or dress for the job you want, not the job you have type of a mindset. But it also fundamentally comes down to the feeling that comes with it. And another one of my mantras that I incorporate in my work is, when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you can change your life. So when I look at my website that's just launching, I want to feel like I gave it my best effort to show up as the person I want to be. And you, as the photographer, you take such amazing photos. You said, who do you want to be 3 years from now? What message do you want to convey? Let's tap into that woman. And that really spoke to me too. It kind of is in line with what I believe. Like, you have to think about the vision of what you want to attract. Who do I want to visit my website? What do I want them to see? Yes, these iPhone pictures that I had before planned to use, they were good, but like, there's nothing like having those professional photos. First of all, you just feel beautiful, you feel fierce, and you feel like you're showing up as the professional that you want to embody. And it sends a powerful message to the people clicking on your site. So I was so grateful to get your amazing photos. And you sent me like 10 of them from our shoot, and I was just like, done, plug, these are perfect. And I don't even have to think about it when I look at your work. It's just like, okay, obviously these are the ones. These are great.
Thank you. It really makes me feel so amazing.
Yeah.
We shot in Jamaica, and we shot also in New York. Which one did you, I love them both, but I'm curious, like, from your perspective, like, where did you enjoy it the most?
Oh gosh. I love them both for different reasons, both scenes, because I think that the city girl is such a big part of who I am, but then I'm a traveler too. So having those beach shots, that takes me back to that amazing place we were at, which just brings me so much joy. And then when you look at that, you feel good again. It brings me back to that moment and to the memory. But the New York thing is like on the Brooklyn Bridge, like, that's who I am. I'm here, this is who I am. These are the women I want to serve are, in New York, and struggling in this rat race of figuring out who they are and what they want to become. So I just get such different vibes from all of them, all the pictures from both scenes, and they just mean so much to me for different reasons.
And it was so fun to get up at 4 a.m.
Go to bed at 2 a.m., wake up at 4 a.m. and go shoot, and we were just still so full of energy of like, this is so fun and amazing.
Yeah.
It was the best experience.
The Brooklyn Bridge was what time?
Oh, and
like, you picked me up at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
or
6
like
a.m. on a Sunday, like, sure. It's
Let's
worth
do
it for
that.
the shot, yeah. People even commented on that to me that have seen them already and said, wow, how did you get these pictures with no one else in the background? I was like, the photographer said it, we got to get there early, so.
Yeah, well, there were still people, but I just did
You knew
a
how
little
to-
bit of
you knew how
magic,
to- yeah.
so to get them out of, of the shot, so.
Yeah.
No, I love those pictures. Yeah, and that guy, remember the one who was stretching?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
So funny.
That still makes me laugh, that picture. I can't wait to post that one too, and on social, and just, caption this. So many fun ones.
Can you talk about your favorite books, or do you have even one favorite, or?
Yeah. Gosh, that's hard. I am all about the self-help world and psychology, and I have been for like 10 years now. It's we can never stop learning about ourselves, and that's just really exciting to me. But I've recently been getting into, I've always loved all the Gabby Bernstein books because she has a way of eloquently breaking down hard things in a way that makes sense to people regardless of where they're at in their journey. So I love The Universe Has Your Back. I love Judgment Detox. Her book there was one of my, that moved me so much because she really, has a way there of showing us how much our judgments of ourselves and others hold us back every day.
Yeah.
So that book was very, very important to me. And her new book, Super Attractor, it really combines all the things about like the energy and the feeling good, and it's a book about feeling good, so that one is amazing as well. But then I love neuroscience too, and I love understanding how the brain is impacting this energy work and how there's science behind it as well. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, I've been on a big kick of his now too, gosh, there's just so many. And then I'm like a tough love kind of girl too, so I love Stop Doing That Shit, that book by Gary John Bishop.
I've never heard of it.
It's so good about ending self-sabotage, which for entrepreneurs and for regular people, it doesn't matter. We have so many patterns of self-sabotage that until we really understand where they're coming from and how they're affecting us, we're just gonna keep doing it. Like the website's like, oh, I'm gonna do the website on Saturday, and it's like, oh, I'm tired, I'll wake up early and do it tomorrow. Nope, that's self-sabotage. You're already setting yourself up and repeating bad habits that we've accumulated over decades.
Yeah.
So any of these self-help type of things I think are wildly important. And then I love like The Alchemist is very cliche, but that book really has always played a big part of my life whenever I pick it up and reread it, because it's all about following your personal legend and trusting your inner guide. And I think that there's so many lessons in The Alchemist, and in really, it's always been there for me whenever I make any big shifts in my life. It just shows up as like don't question yourself. When we are, as women and for men too, just so in tune with the mind, heart, spirit kind of connection, we never have to doubt. We never have to live in this place of uncertainty. We can have faith because we're tuned in, and we know that this inner guide, we have a compass inside of us always guiding us. And that book always brings it back home for me, and helps me manifest a lot of cool things, because whenever I read it, I feel good, and then you manifest cool stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you. You will have to send me the names so that I can, put them under the video somewhere.
Yes.
What's the best business advice you ever gotten?
Ooh, that's a good one. The first thing that comes to my mind is that Ramit thing about just not being average.
Yeah.
We're really programmed to kind of go with the masses. When I was in San Francisco in 2007, I'll never forget seeing which is actually, this is one of my modules in my course for my program is called the Job Salon. So it's your ultimate career and mindset makeover. And one of the modules in there is called Mediocrity Killed the Cat.
Oh,
And
poor cat.
and I saw that hanging on a sign in San Francisco one day in a restaurant. It was Mediocrity Killed the Cat, and I was like, it was one of those impactful things that was like, it's very true. And I think for my life, I was very much always like playing. If everyone's average here, I was always a step above my peers that were like playing average, mediocre though, like not ever transcending to like the Harvard levels and the Ivy League and the or even aspiring to be there. I was always playing safe, like just above everybody else, but not here. And that's where Ramit's business advice really spoke to me about just adopting this mindset of being a top performer, shooting for like in the recruiting world, like instead of making your resume over an hour or two and sending it off, like really testing it, testing everything you do with an audience. Like what 10 people can I get in HR and recruiting and friends and family to look at my resume before I just send it out to all these jobs that are my dream jobs, but I'm just gonna like send a very mediocre resume to them instead of testing it. That's his advice on constantly putting time, effort, and testing has always really spoken to me too. And it's inspiring a lot of my business strategies now. Yeah. He also has always just been a big advocate of, he's got his dream job courses, and then he's also has his Earn 1K and his how to, go from zero idea to launching a business idea. There's a lot of ways to make money out there. Yeah. And I think that from a business advice perspective is just wildly important to open people's mindsets up. That's like, it doesn't have to just look like a job. It doesn't have to just look like a side hustle. It doesn't have to, there's so many ways to make money.
That's for sure.
So he's definitely opened me up to that.
Yeah. And you're so good at strategizing actually. Like, remember we were talking about it, like I would ask you something and you would come up like with this fountain of ideas. I was like, what just happened? Like, how do you do this? But yeah, it's amazing.
The Grant Cardone has also his book, Get Obsessed or Be Average, I think, which seems to be a theme today. Is like, don't be average. Don't be average. Grant Cardone's Get Obsessed for when I was doing my my makeup business with the direct sales company. It's they're selling the products and one-to-one in direct selling, and then there's building a team to do it to create residual income. And coaching them and teaching them how to do that too, and so on, which I love. I love the idea of women taking a cell phone and being able to make money slinging makeup on the go. But there were years during this makeup hustle where I was so obsessed with it that I went from like just dabbling to the leadership levels in like 90 days.
Wow.
90 days.
90 days?
Stuff that's taken people years to do.
Wow.
I did 90 days and then a year later another level and so on, and it's because I was so obsessed with it that like Grant Cardone in a good way. Of course you have to set boundaries and you have to still plan some date nights and do see your loved ones and have fun. Yeah. But I was having so much fun, and Grant Cardone talks about the fact that other people aren't going to get it, and that's okay too. When you get to go all in and you're so obsessed with whatever it is you're building. And it's okay that other people aren't going to get it, but you have to have that obsession to really grow and to stand out. That business advice has really helped me too, to say like I wasn't crazy when I was doing it back then, and I'm not crazy doing it now for my new coaching business and all the courses I want to create and all these other things. You need to get obsessed if you want to have massive results and really help and impact a lot of people.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a word that means the same thing, but maybe with a slightly more positive connotation.
Obsessed?
Yes.
That's actually interesting. That came to my mind as I was reading his book too. But his energy on Audible, listening to it, will fire you up so much that then you forget about that. Because you're like, okay, that's
we redefine the obsessed. We are redefining the obsessed.
But that's actually part of my tagline, is like creating a life you're obsessed with. Yeah. Because I think as women now, it's become an okay thing to say. It's like, oh my gosh, that pumpkin spice latte, I'm obsessed with it. It's like we say it all the time. Or those shoes, I'm obsessed. It's become more of like a part of our generation, just a slang type of thing that we were allowed to say, and it doesn't seem weird. But in the workplace, it's like, oh, you're too obsessed with it, or you're so obsessed with work, and then that has a negative connotation. So it's interesting the way we should be able to say, like, obsessed doesn't have to be negative. It can be fun, and it can be mean that you're in alignment.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting idea too.
You're in alignment and you're inspired.
Inspired,
yes. Because you get obsessed when you're inspired. Like, and I also
and in
know,
love.
yeah, and in love, yeah, like in love with what you're doing with your clients, and in love with the work that you're doing for your clients. Because yes, I've been also experiencing this recently a lot, where I would get so inspired to do, like, I have a million ideas to do all of these different things, and then energy comes from that, right? And then I'm starting to do those things, and yes, it actually does feel like I'm obsessed with all of those different things that I'm thinking about.
And it gives you energy.
Exactly.
It gives you, it fuels your soul.
Yeah.
When it fuels your soul on that soul level, you can be on, and you're raising your vibration. We were coming back from Jamaica and these other things that we were doing together, and I felt like I didn't sleep for a week, but I wasn't tired.
I know.
And this is another,
Same.
it's crazy. When you tap into these feelings and you elevate your vibration to this next level, and you're just feeling that alignment, it's almost like, oh, now I get it, because you've seen and heard other people talking about this, or you see the Beyoncés and all these people that like hustle, and they get so much done in a week that, like, how there's a meme that's like, you have just as many hours in a day as Beyonce. Basically, like, get off your butt, you know? But the difference, though, is she's in such alignment with what she's doing that she probably doesn't even feel like she's working to get to, to grow these businesses and brands that she has in her career. So when you tap into that, it feels good, and you realize you want everyone else to have it too.
Yeah. Oh,
that's the other thing, which comes with the coaching. Like, I want other people to create lives that they're equally obsessed with.
Yes.
And I think having gone from 5 years ago, working for a nonprofit, making no money, coming to New York with my stuff in my car and my cat, and kind of like just lost and figuring it out, if I can do that, everyone can do that. You can go from negative 20,000 in the bank to 6-figure savings, and able to just gush over your life, and feel like you and the confidence that comes from that.
Yes,
that's the biggest thing. When you have these wins in your life, you get slowly more confident in yourself. So my mission is to inspire women to say, when I bet on myself, I win. Mm-hmm. This life is a game. It's almost like a poker game. And like, if you bet on yourself enough times and try these new things, you win. Eventually you'll win a hand.
Yes. Wow, that was great. Thank you so much for stopping by and sharing your knowledge. Before we go, what would you like to tell our audiences? Who are you helping? Who would you love to help, and how are you gonna do that?
Thanks. That's a great question. I think that right now, the clients I'm working with more often, and those that I'm really trying to target, are the women in their 20s and 30s that are your high performance females, that I want to help these women tap into their limitless potential and give them the tools and the resources to create that life that they're obsessed with, and give them permission to create that. I think so often we're really just lacking and kind of waiting for someone to say it's okay to want more.
Yeah, definitely.
It's okay to want more. It's okay if you're getting this nudge that you are destined for something great. I know that for me, a big reason why I've been suppressing it in myself is you see all the millennial craze where everyone thinks that they're this like special snowflake type of a thing, snowflake syndrome. So then it makes you kind of dim your light a bit and say, wait a minute, like we all think we're special, the trophy generation and that kind of thing. And I'm here to call bullshit on that. Like we are all special, and it's okay to want more. And if you feel that in your gut and your core is telling you that there's more out there, it's okay to strive for that. It's okay to desire it. And to take action behind it, because there's one thing of owning your desires, and it's another thing to know how to get into that alignment and take the action to create that life. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you.